exercise on Saturday, 7th November 2020. The exercise was held across the 18 local government areas of the state. The youth took to the streets and major road standage that greeted the hijack of the End SARS protest in the state. The special advisor to the governor on media and communication strategy, Mr. Cruzo Osagi, said the exercise was intended to positively engage the youths in the cleanup of the state, and all necessary logistics were provided for the exercise. The coordinators were the chairman of the 18 local governments of the state, the Ministry of Youths, Edo State Waste Management Board, and the and of course the Edo State Skills Development Agency, Edo Jobs, the Edo Volunteers Voters Assembly, and other youth groups in the state were not left out. The governor assured that youth would play key roles in his government. This is one of the ways of engaging them to be responsive to the needs of their immediate communities. He says the state government will continue to ensure cleanliness, sanity, and maintenance of law and order in the quest to return normalcy to major roads and streets in Edo State. On the other hand, both the local and international investors have predicted a positive economic outlook for the state as the governor seeks to consolidate on reforms and programs to make the state an investment hub. Governor Obaseki will be sworn into office along with his deputy, Right Honorable Comrade Philip Shaibu, for another term of 4 years on November 12th, 2020. The event will be held alongside the first edition of the annual Alaghodaro, held in adherence to COVID-19 protocols, according to the statement by the Secretary to the State Government, Osarodio Ogie Esquire. And Alaghodaro 2020 is tagged Making Edo Great Again. And that is why we are bringing on the maiden edition of the Alaghodaro studio program. The member of the Alaghodaro and Inauguration Committee, and of course she is also deputizing as the chairperson when the chairman is not around, Ifueko Alufokai, Mrs. Ifueko is an executive level professional with over 20 years legal and administrative expertise towards providing value-adding solutions. She has a strong record to the Nigerian bar in 1996. She holds an LLM from the University of Houston, Texas, in the United States of America, of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, and past executive director of the Nigerian Bar Association, and presently the Edo State focal person for the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, and the Nigerian Gas Expansion Program. As focal person of the SDGs in Edo State, she has explored partnership on delivering on the SDGs in the state by synergizing with various local government challenges. Community buy-in in the state include for economic empowerment opportunities, promotions in the state, economic stimulus program, tagged CARES for Nigeria, and has served in various capacities in the state, such as the chairperson for Edo Summit Alaghodaro 2019 and co-chairperson Edo Summit Alaghodaro 2018. Madam Ifueko, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
And my name is Habiba Oyege Oyarekwa, welcoming you to the program. Now, you want to take us back to what it was like being the chairperson of Alaghodaro 2019. How were you able to pull it off?
Thank you very much. Like I said, it's an honor to be here, and I'm happy to be working with you as a friend and as a sister.
Thank you very much.
The Alaghodaro, first and first, we must understand it's the marking and the celebration of the governor's inauguration first. That's first. And then two, the Alaghodaro itself, as the name implies in Edo language, means progress. So when you say Alaghodaro, you mean progress. Then thirdly, you asked me, 2019 was another celebration which we undertook to celebrate the governor's from...
You have different themes.
We have different themes.
Year.
The first one was the investment one. The second was an overall overview. It was like a scorecard, and the focus was on primary health care, basic education, and creating jobs in the state. Then the third one, like I said, was to do with the people themselves, the Edo people, allowing for us to understand where we were with them and what they expected from us, and to see whether we were actually meeting their needs. So it was a good one, it was an exciting one, and I worked with wonderful people who came on board. I had a fantastic team, and most importantly, I have a chairman who is the chairman of Alaghodaro. I'm the LOC chairman, Mr. Ifueko, the chairman of Sterling Bank. He's a fan, and we look forward to producing and providing a fantastic summit for the people.
Now, when you were the chairperson for you got?
Oh, it was both local and international. Local, from an international, you can see the number of investors who have actually come into Edo in the last 12 months to 24, just say 24 months. Yeah. As a result of, when you showcase what you're doing,
yes,
and you're able to get criticism from the people,
yes,
you are able to meet up and then redirect. Even if you're not doing the right, you find yourself redirecting having proper guidelines and having proper plans to meet the needs of the people. So I must say it's good feedback, and it's something we'll keep doing, because you have to allow avenue to be able to interact with the people. You can't be doing all the work in the world, yes, fine, but you must create an avenue where you have an interactive session where you can hear back and get your scorecard and get evaluated by the people who you serve.
Are you saying that from the feedback that you got, probably you now want to say that the governor was able to deliver on his expectations?
Oh, yes. He did deliver.
2020 Alaghodaro is unique because it will be held alongside the inauguration of the governor for a second time in office. Now, what other features distinguishes this year's summit from the previous editions?
First thing first, like you mentioned in your intro, we had the cleanup exercise. It's the first of its kind in an Alaghodaro week of our celebration. So that was on Saturday, and it was well attended. The youth took responsibility, took charge, and in collaboration with the governor and the deputy, everyone was on board.
I saw you.
Yes, thank you. It was a fantastic time to be on the street cleaning. And the cleaning wasn't just the physical cleaning, yes, but it was a cleansing. For me, I took it as a cleansing from all that's happened this year. 2020 has been a hard year.
It has been,
apart from the COVID, apart from the NSAID, so many things. We've lost a lot of lives. People have lost jobs. So it was, for me, apart from the cleaning exercise, it was a cleansing for us to be able to reflect and ask ourselves, what are actually the importance of life itself? So the youths led that Saturday event, and it was a successful one, and we look forward to more of that interactions with the youth. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Now, interacting with the youths on the street on a cleaning exercise, what was it like? Were you not scared that?
No, I have a 25-year-old and a 24-year-old. They're both kids. They are both youths. So I know their friends. I'm with the friends, and I'm a youth at heart myself. So it was a wonderful experience. And it's not the first time we're working with them. We usually work with the youths. This is not the first Alaghodaro where we have the youth. So it was a nice experience, and they were very respectful. And like I said, respect is mutual. There was respect from my end, and there was respect from their end. And it was a wonderful experience.
All right. So why is this year's Alaghodaro really focusing on the youth? Yes, of course, we've spoken about the youth in previous editions of the summit. Yes, but this time around, it's like the governor is saying that that the youth will be included more in his government.
Every Alaghodaro summit, there's a youth summit. There's a focus on this government. It's youth focus. Two things: youth focus and women focus. So if you look through the cabinet or through all of us that work with the governor, you can see that already. So it's not really, I wouldn't want to say it's a focus, this year's focus because of what's happening. Yes, it's true that the NSAS came to pass and all that, and of course, the youth have always worked with us. And you can see in the whole country, the governor was the first to have an interactive session with the youth as soon as the NSAS came on board, because we already had that relationship. There's already a platform where we have what we have with the youth. So it's not the first. This is not the first time we're having a youth summit, and we've always had a youth focus summit.
Probably, maybe you are taking it to the next level this time around.
Oh, definitely. This time around, we're actually having a situation where we're going to ask them, how can they key into the mega vision of the governor? Bringing the youths in and say, okay, the governor has promised, okay, I'm going to have such a number of people working with us in the government. So We must be able to create a platform where the youth will tell us how do they want to key in this time around. What are their focus on what do they want to be in part of this particular government. They must be able to join. They're already on the train with us. So we need to have a session which we've always had, like I said, but this particular one to ask them, okay, how can you key in? Looking at the governor's manifesto, what do you want to do and how do you want to serve? How do you want to provide your services in the system?
So you are giving them a free hand to say what they want to do?
Oh, yes. We need to hear them and we continue to hear them. We believe in their voices. Their voice actually counts. You can see how far we've gone, so far with them. Their voices count.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, the government recently announced that this year's Alaghodaro would be devoid of the razzmatazz with other activities that, that we're supposed to have been lined up to make it memorable. Now, why is it going to be so sober?
Like I said initially, this year, 2020, has been a taxing year. It's been a difficult year. By the grace of God, I'm looking forward to the end of this year to celebrate and give all glory to Him, yes. Okay. But most of you will realize that COVID-19 has been a huge issue this year. One, like I said, we've lost a lot of people. People have lost their jobs. And then most recently, you had the NSAS where we lost lives, we lost servicemen, we lost our children. It's been a very trying year. So that has given us a time to ask ourselves, is it time to party? Or is it time to actually reflect on what's going on? So we need to focus on things like healthcare. We're already doing that, but how can we even provide more with the COVID situation? How can we provide more jobs? And then, it's not a time to just do the usual. Yes, it's time to celebrate. At the same time, maybe not be sensitive to the happenings around. Still do the key things, have the ceremonies, the typical ceremonies, but then tone it down.
So what will you say to the people that are thinking that you are just pinching pennies?
People are suffering. People have lost love. I lost a loved one this year. In fact, 3 of them. So it's okay to celebrate. It's different ways of celebrating. You can celebrate by giving back. You can celebrate by giving a pack to someone who needs it. That's celebration. You don't have to be seen to be popping champagne and dancing in a nightclub. You understand what I'm saying? It's a time for reflection.
So talking about popping champagne, you say we are not going by the committee ahead of the hosting of the spread of the coronavirus.
Okay, and those kind of minor problems. But this year, we are COVID-centered, as in COVID guidelines have been adhered to strictly. You have to wear the mask, you have to have sanitizers around of health. They'll be handling that. So you have doctors on ground, you have nurses on ground. You're going to have, even if you come without your mask, you're going to have people give you masks at the door, at the entrances. Even the sitting arrangement as far back as the stadium is being tagged and spaced out. So you can't have 2 people sitting compliant to the tennis court, which usually would take about 1,000.
At the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium?
Yeah, the lovely Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. It's about 1,700.
Are you going to
It'll be televised. So you can stay in your local government council, watch the event going, and of course the chairman will provide whatever.
So no need traveling.
No need to travel. It's no need to travel. This is not the time for traveling, and this is not the time.
And then what about the protocols? How are you going to be able to tell them that they should stick strictly to the invitation cards?
Yes.
Because there are times people get to the gate, but you don't know me again.
No.
And then, August, welcome, sir, and then you go in.
Not this year. Not this year. Because even the people themselves, they understand there's a change. It's a new dawn. It's a change.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a short break now. When we come back, we are going to be taking a look at the newly revamped Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. Stay with us. the program. Now, Ifueko,
Yes.
I read from your profile that you are an executive level professional with over. What legal advice have you given to this administration?
Thank you. The one that comes most recent to mind was rubbing mind and Solicitor General on having the Alaghodaro itself registered as a foundation. Yes, Alaghodaro is a registered foundation, so it has a life of its own. It's separate from government. That's one. It can be sustained way after this. You know the typical Nigerian factor, oh, you set up something, as soon as the person leaves, something goes up. But this is, Alaghodaro, it's on its own. It's a foundation. It has advice I can think about that I've worked with in government.
Okay. Now, as the focal person for the sustainable development goals, and of course that of the Nigerian gas expansion program, what is it?
All facets, all MDAs. Yes, you cannot see a direct link, but I see the link as a focal person of SDGs. There's a link for the states. The National Gas Expansion Program is a new one. We haven't even, I've just been appointed about 3 weeks ago. The first meeting was where. It's just that as a state, you now need to focus. You can't do everything. You can't, so you now have to focus. Where do you go? Last year, our focus was primary healthcare, basic education, job, businesses, meeting the needs of the people. Because it's like you're now encouraging people to work with gas more than just fuel. So it's a new dimension.
Okay, what about the World Bank leader?
Yes, that was set up by the World Bank to mitigate the impact of the COVID in the whole country, all the states. So every state now has. We're looking at ways of just reducing the burden of the ordinary man in the society. Our focus is 3 results: funding small businesses, the MSMEs. So it's a way of mitigating the COVID impact on the people by the World Bank, and then they're going through the states to do that.
They have voted some money.
Oh yes, they have.
But you know that one thing with the World Bank is when you don't spend the money at the end of the
Definitely,
time,
it goes back. Yes, I know that. Okay. We hope we'll do well. We have a wonderful team. Okay. We have a wonderful team. So I never work alone. I have a good team.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Now, let's come to the events that have been scheduled for the 2020 Alaghodaro and the inauguration, which commenced on Saturday with the state cleanup.
Yeah.
So what should the people of Edo State expect on each day?
Okay. We already started, like I said, the flag off was on Saturday with the cleanup Edo state worldwide. That was Saturday, and then we have the next one is on Wednesday, which is a youth summit. The theme is our youth and the mega agenda. Like I said, it's a way of the youth to tell us now what's their intention, how they want to work with the governor's mega agenda. And then we'll go on to Thursday, which is inauguration proper. We already mentioned it will be a small, low-key inauguration, focus on the ceremony itself. And then we have Friday, where we have the Alaghodaro Summit, which this year is also focused on making Edo great again. The mega agenda. So, and then the same day we have the Jummite prayers, which will be at the main mosque
on Friday.
On Friday. That's like a Thanksgiving for our Muslim brothers and sisters.
Yeah, I saw you with the Pilgrims Board director.
Yes, we were together. That was the meeting that was when you came around there. Yeah. So we have the Jummite, and then after the Jummite, we have the football match, the soccer match.
Oh,
yes, we have soccer match. Okay. Yeah, so very good.
And then on
Sunday we have the Thanksgiving for the Christians, and then that's the end of our program for the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's come back to this football match. The newly revamped Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin will be playing host to the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Leon Stars of Sierra Leone on Friday. Now, is this part of the Alaghodaro Summit? Because we've never had something like this before.
Okay.
Or is it because you have a deputy governor who is a footballer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, this is the first soccer. Usually every year we have the golf. Every year the Alaghodaro Summit. Yes.
That's true.
That's where we meet. Yeah. So we have the golf as part of tournament, as part of the Alaghodaro. But this year we thought, Mr. Governor and his deputy were like, let's have a twist. You know, let's come back to home. I mean, come home.
Was that why you rocked the golfers?
No, we still, don't worry, we'll come to that. So soccer, you know soccer is more popular. It's for us, those soccer lovers, and for the youth. So, exactly. So we said, let's have a soccer tournament, which will be played at the prestigious stadium. And then who better to come and play than the Super Eagles, you know, against the Sierra Leoneans. So we're looking forward to that. It's a new thing. So it's you know, the two of them, my governor and the deputy, they are sportsmen. Yeah. So great golfers, great soccer men, they're athletes themselves. So it's something.
Does the governor play golf? I mean, no, does he play football?
Yes, he does. But I know of his golf talents.
No worry,
but he does. I don't tell you if I say that. Yes.
Okay. So how are you going to be able to control the crowd at the stadium during the match?
The FIFA rules, no crowd. But it's going to be televised.
Come again, say it again.
It's going to be televised.
No crowd.
FIFA rules.
No.
We are still expecting, we have written to them, we're still expecting to know how many, because we have to go by their guidelines. They have to give us their guidelines. It's a FIFA rule. So as soon as we receive that, we'll let the public know. But for now, I'm working with the fact that there's going to be a match. But to tell you the number, I can't tell you that now. The COVID is real.
It is.
COVID-19 is real, so we have to be watchful. So I'll wait for their response regarding the what do you call them, the spectators. But we're playing. It's going to be televised.
In an empty stadium?
I didn't say so. Watch out for the information from the FIFA.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, of what significance is the hosting of the Governor Obaseki's Sports Development Drive in Edo State?
You know, the governor has, you know, he has a, what do you call it, the mini stadiums and all, already on the park. He's a sports person, and you know what the sports does? Sport as an activity is inclusive. You know, it brings the youth together, it even brings the old together. And then when you've noticed that in soccer tournaments, you never hear of tribes. You don't hear anybody say, oh, I'm from Edo, I'm from Benin, I'm from, you know. So it's a way of making sure everybody feels included in the administration. It's a way of everybody feeling, from the health factor. You know, but it's for me personally, the sports drive, it's a combination of many things. You know, the governor himself is someone who wants everyone's buy-in. And what better way to show it, you know, by having all the sports activities. You know, it's a what do you call it, a flat playing field for everyone. You see the governor, it's an interactive place. Yeah.
You have worked with the governor from the inception of the
July 2017.
2017. Mm-hmm. Now, so how would you rate the governor?
Mm-hmm. In two capacity.
Not as a member of his cabinet or kitchen cabinet now. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, as an adult person, first thing, I would say 90%. Yes.
That's huge.
Let me tell you something. I'm an adult born, proudly adult child. I was born here, and I used to, after I left and I got married and moved out of Benin, I wasn't coming home often. But I tell you, when he became governor, things changed. For instance, just from the airport, there was a time there was only one flight coming into Benin in 2016, 2015, 2 flights. Now, how many flights do we have coming in a day? First thing, look at the airports, you know that. Two, look at primary healthcare facilities that are being provided. You don't have to go to major hospital. You can start from the primary healthcare center. Basic education. I'm sure you are aware that other states are even coming to understudy our basic education and what he has put in place. Infrastructure. If you drive around there, look at, I remember I grew up in Benin. Even the new High Court, as a lawyer, I was impressed. There's so many things. So forget about the fact that I work for him. You know, the fact as an adult person, I'm proud. Look at the immigration one. You know, there was a time when you travel, you're afraid to say you're from Benin. Now I proudly say I'm an adult girl, proudly adult, because now they know that yes, there's someone who they can trust. The investors are coming in not because of anything, but because of what he has put in place. You know, there's so much beautiful what he has put in place. So I'll give him 90%. We have a lot more to do, yes, because there are a lot of promises he has made. We have to now, next 4 years, we're going to be looking into it. So I'll give him 90%. I'll give him 90%.
Now, what about the investors who have a signified interest so far would you say they are putting their monies in the right places?
Oh yes. Look at, so what does an investor want? Security, infrastructure. So, you know, capacity. There's so much going on that I can't even exhaust. I mean, I can't talk about his mega agenda. Go through the campaign promises. And then one thing he said, hold him accountable, hold him to it. It's going to be an investor's heaven. I'm proud to say that. Yes, yes, yes.
All right, we'll take a shot from the government. Stay with us. You're welcome back to the... How would you appraise the role of the government in driving the sustainable development agenda, which of course...
I said 90%, right?
So now we're talking about sustainability.
Sustainability.
Yes.
That's where. So, like, first thing first, people voted him back. There's a reason for that, that's one. Two, he has come back, he's coming to consolidate on what he already started. Okay. So, it's one thing to start something, it's one thing to finish it. So that's where we are now. There are many projects that are in the pipeline. You have the Gili, you have the K1 Road. You also have the Enterprise Park Sports Festival.
Yes, Edo 2020.
Edo 2020. It's around the corner.
Yeah.
What that does is economy. So there are many of activities like that he's introduced, and he's already introduced and still introducing. They're going to boost the economy. You're going to have, putting money in people's pocket basically. When you say, if you think of a sports event like that, people are going to come into Edo, they're going to have a lot of trade and enterprise and,
trying to turn Edo to an investment hub.
Yes, thank you. And we're the heartbeat of the nation.
Of course we are.
So we are an example to everyone to take photo.
Okay. Now, with the governor's inauguration come November 12th, 2020, what should Edo people expect in the coming days?
I will leave that to Mr. Governor to answer. You know why? The Edo people should listen to his speech. They should watch the programs because it's going to be live. Listen to him. He's going to be speaking to the people. He's going to be telling us what his next 4 years is going to be. Tune in. It's going to be live. It's going to be streamed across the Facebook, YouTube. You're going to have a Zoom facilities at least for the summits. for the inauguration is going to be live. So it's going to be an open event, when a media open event, so that you're able to listen to him. And of course, with time, we'll make sure everybody gets the speech, even if you were able to. It's going to be played live and going to be replayed so that people are able to understand and then hear him. I would prefer you hear it from him than from me.
Where did you cast the governor won? In that area? I should ask because I wasn't there.
Definitely he won.
Have you said anything to your people?
Oh, I want to say thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. It was an exciting time to be a part of that process and to do for voting him back. And I promise that he will not let us down. Thank you.
You're so emotional.
I am, because I believe in what he's doing. His vision, because the kind of person I am, and I'm an emotional being. If I don't believe in you, I won't work with you. That's how everybody knows that. I will not work with you. So I believe in him, and I'm here to the very end until he says, if I could say enough.
I thank you for granting this interview.
Thank you. Thank you, Abiba.
All right, so with that, we've come to the end of the maiden edition of our interview section, which is coming to you from the Alaghodaro studio. We'd like to say a big thank you to Ifueko Alufokai.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, we shall be making Edo great again. My name is Habiba Oyege Oyarekwa. Thank you for watching.
To people. This was only. Thank you very much, the Edo State government. I want to appreciate their great job. General Manager cannot limited. I also feel appreciate the executive government. I was taught by professionals, engineers, everybody. I want to thank the for giving me the opportunity.
Tell you that I am a producer of perfumes. And not just perfumes, but quality perfumes. And I hope with time, this business is going to expand for a job well done. I also want to thank the governor of the state, Governor Godwin, for initiating this means to empower the youth of the state.
I appreciate you. Just to talk to every young person who's here, I want to encourage you that every day around you there's at least a problem that you can solve for yourself. You know that somebody else has the same problem. If you can solve for yourself and solve for somebody else, you can make money and you can create wealth. That's my.
Oh, thank you very much. Know yourselves. After that, you now need to start thinking about what exactly do you want to do. Activity. If you play chess and you understand the importance of positioning, when you position yourself as a chess player, you probably know your next 10 steps.
And it's not change for the sake of change, it's change because you have done it before. So let me once again congratulate the governor, who I know his background, we have worked together, and please give him a chance to do exactly what he has to do, because this is what we have in the state today. And don't take it for granted. Many other states are hoping and praying for a governor like Governor Obaseki and President. You have a leadership that is decisive, a leadership that knows what he should do, and a leadership that is accountable to the people.
For that, we can start a recycling facility to employ some of us.
I want to start. It's wonderful that these steps are being taken. It is this something we can do that the governor is learning. He is now finding himself to do. If there's anything we can do, all of them, we will help. Thank you very much.
This summit is very, very important because from the data available, 4 million people. Out of that data, 71%, and that is scary. Because when you look at you who are above the age of 15, we did not invest adequately in your education. So we have a crisis. And that crisis we saw very manifestly in issues like thuggery, lack of investments in our young people. We found that Edo, because of the very aspirational nature of Edo people, began to manifest some very upward tendencies as a result of this lack of investments. So for us as a government, we had no choice migration anymore. Because when we came in about 3 years ago, young people did not want to stay here. What have we done? You are all witnesses to what we have achieved and accomplished in the last 3 years as it relates to Edo jobs. The testimonies are there. Because of the issue of unemployment, during my electioneering, I did what most politicians will not do. I said that, and people doubted it, politicians will usually not give themselves such targets, just in case they don't meet it, because it will be an issue during their re-election. But I took that risk because I was committed to it, and I believe that with what I see in Edo, with the opportunities I see in a lot of the young people, if government creates the enabling environment, gives them the support, then 200,000. I am glad, I'm proud, I'm happy that at the last count, we have created 157,000 jobs in Edo. Me, that is saying it. In the publication by Business Day, they undertook an independent assessment, an independent evaluation, and they told me that the Skill Development Agency was able to create 45,000 jobs through job tracking, 3,500 jobs through job matching and placements, 1,300 jobs from Edo Food and Agri Cluster, 12,000 jobs from the National Social Investment Program, 10,000 from the Ministry of Wealth Creation, and 32,000 indirect jobs. The data is all there and you can verify them. So the future for us into Edo State to partner with us to create opportunities for Amenmo youths. The opportunity we see is in agriculture, where working with the central bank, today we are making Edo the hub of oil palm in Nigeria. From next month, we are making available more than 100,000 hectares of new land, prepared land for palm oil investors to come in. The next anniversary of Alaghodaro, I want to see 100,000 young men and women and at least 5,000 companies come to Edo to help create the opportunities that we see for the future. I want to thank all of you and congratulate all you Edo jobbers. For those of you who are going to be employed today or interviewed today, I wish you good luck. Thank you.